Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and I have to tell you that just noticed that for a long time haven't published a game played by the legend Mikhail Tal. And here is a game where the 8th world chess champion will unleash a dangerous attack against Soviet chess grandmaster Leonid Shamkovich. This game was played in 1972 at the USSR Championship. In the previous USSR Championship in 1971, Shamkovich managed to beat Mikhail Tal with a black pieces, and this game gave Mikhail Tal a nice chance to take a revenge. Let's see what's going to happen on the board. Mikhail Tal, who was playing with white pieces, opened up with e4, and Shamkovich responded with c6, Caro-Kann defense. In the previous game played in 1971, again, Tal was playing with the white pieces, and again, Caro-Kann defense was played in that game, but after d5, knight c3, d takes e4, knight takes e4. In that game, Shamkovich proceeded with bishop f5, but this time Shamkovich chose the modern variation, or this is also called Karpov variation, the short-term goal of which is to develop the kingside knight, and if knight takes f6, then recapture with the queenside knight, thus not allowing white to damage his kingside pawn structure. Here Tal played knight f3, knight f6, and knight c3. Usually Tal was moving back his knight on g3, but as Shamkovich tried this line with knight d7 for the first time, he decided to drag him out from his opening preparations and placed his knight on c3, e6 by Shamkovich, bishop d3, c5, queen e2, c takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop c5, knight b3, bishop d6, bishop g5, a6, and Tal castles queenside. Tal definitely enjoyed castling queenside against Caro-Kann defense, which usually allows white to play a very aggressive game, queen c7, in the style of Mikhail Tal, you know. We first have this prophylactic king b1 move, and after castling kingside we have knight e4. And it was in here that Shamkovich made a terrible mistake and played bishop e5. After this move, white is managing to gain an advantage and great attacking chances. Instead, it was better to play bishop e7. By the way, I have to tell you that playing knight takes e4 is not good, because after queen takes e4, if you play g6, then you are somewhat making your kingside vulnerable, and by going for h4, white can unleash a very dangerous attack. That's why, after knight e4, as I mentioned above, black should have played bishop e7, in order not to allow white to break into pieces black's kingside. But in our game we have bishop e5, and after f4, bishop takes f4, Tal captured on f6, thus damaging black's pawn structure on the king side, and now black king turns out to be an easy target for aggressive white pieces. Here Tal announced a check from g4, and after king h8, of course you can't play a move like bishop g5 because of this h4. That's why king h8 was played, but now we have rook f1. Tal is attacking black's dark squared bishop, and also in some lines he can bring this rook on this attacking h3 square, bishop e5, and as everything is ready to go for a heavy blow, Tal went for a bishop sacrifice. Bishop takes h7 is on the board. I decided even not to ask you to find the winning move, because I knew that you could find this move in a blink of a second. Of course, playing queen h5 is not good because of this f5, that's why we have bishop takes h7. And black can't even accept the sacrifice because of this rook f3 move, and black king is in a mating net. If bishop f4, then rook h3 check, and if bishop h6, then rook d3, with the threat of rook takes h6 followed by rook h3 checkmate. That's why after bishop takes h7, black played f5, attacked white queen, and queen h4 by Tal. Already the threat is bishop takes f5, discover check. For example, if you play a move like just a random b5 move, then bishop takes f5 is coming, and then black king can quickly get checkmated. That's why after queen h4, black played king g7, moved away his king from the dangerous h file, but now comes rook f3. Now white wants to go for a move like queen g5 check, followed by bishop takes f5. Yes, Mating ideas are all over the board. Rook e8, black is creating an escaping route for his king. Meanwhile, Tal is intensifying the pressure. This time we have g4. f4, black wants to keep the king's side as close as possible, but there is no way out, you know. This time we have g5. Tal is securing this h6 square for his queen. King f8. And as we have reached the critical position, please pause the video and try to find Mikhail Tal's next move. Ready? In here, the magician from Riga went for an exchange sacrifice and captured on f4. Black accepted the rook sacrifice, and there it goes, queen h6 check. Now you will see the idea of this rook takes f4. It turns out that by going for an exchange sacrifice, white lured away the bishop from the long diagonal from e5 square, from where the bishop was covering the f6 square, and now this white queen is starting to harass black king without meeting any obstacles. King f8, and after g6, right now the threat is g7 checkmate. Pretty nice checkmate with a pawn, right? Black played bishop h6, but after rook f1, finally we have a resignation. Now the threat is queen takes f7, followed by rook takes f7 checkmate. And if you play a move like rook d8, freeing the e8 square for the king, then this time queen h8 check is coming, and again very quickly black king can get checkmated. Though I have to tell you that despite the fact that this rook f1 is a very precise move and allows white to checkmate black king very quickly, but there is another beautiful line which starts with knight c5. This is a funky line, you know, guys, with which white wants to play knight d7 check, block the 7th rank, and then announce a checkmate. Of course, this is also winning. You can't even play a move like queen f4 because of this g7 check followed by queen takes f4, but in our game we have the most precise rook f1 move, after which, as I've already mentioned, Leonid Shamkovich resigned and Mikhail Tal managed to take his revenge in a very brutal way. Well, in the end, let's also solve a chess puzzle where the task is to find the mating line for white. This position is taken from a game played by Mikhail Tal. I'm sure many of you have already seen that game, and I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Again, it's white to move and find the mating line for white. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this game. If you liked it, share it with your friends as well. Let them know about this beauty. I will see you in my next video. Take care.